Good evening. Welcome to our Wellness Wednesday. So great to have each and every one of you on here this evening. My name is Lori Ferraro. I am zooming in from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I am very excited to have our doctor on here tonight. He's going to be sharing a lot of great information. And I think it's so important that we all educate ourselves and do a little bit better with our health and wellness. I mean, who doesn't want to learn a little bit more? Who doesn't want to know more about what they're putting in their bodies and get good results? I mean, I'm not getting any younger, and I hate to tell you, if you thought you were, you're not. Every one of us is getting older every second. By the end of this Zoom, we're all going to be just a little bit older than we were when this Zoom started. So here's the thing. I just realized I want to age as gracefully as I can. I want to do better. Do you guys realize the average person, average, has 5 prescription drugs in their medicine cabinet? What if we could do better? What if we could feel a little bit better and be a little more conscientious about what we're putting in our body? I think wellness has become a really hot topic over the last several years. I think people have started to go, I want to know more about that. I'd like to learn a little bit more about ingredients and what I'm putting in my body. And maybe there's some things that I could change about my health, and maybe I could just do a little bit better. So I get very passionate about the products that are going to be shared tonight. We're going to run through, 7 different products. And each product, there's also going to be someone that shares a testimonial, a personal testimonial of how this product has helped them in their daily life. So, again, I am so thankful to have Doc Brett on here tonight. Let me tell you a little bit about Doc Brett. He became a chiropractor in 1984, and he's been practicing as a physician assistant for over 30 years now. He's been in that space. He's an incredible person. He's extremely knowledgeable. And I can tell you, it was several years ago now, Doc Brett was in a very serious accident that caused, a lot of pain in his body, and he'll probably share a little bit more about that. But I know that these products have helped him to be able to perform at a much better level, a higher level, and help so many people in the space that he's currently in. Not only is he going to help all of us and share his knowledge with us tonight, but he's helping people on a daily basis. So I'm very excited to turn it over to my friend, Dr. Brett Rosman.
Thank you very much, Lori. And like Lori said, yes, I still hold the title of chiropractor, but unfortunately, I have not practiced since 1992 when I was involved in over a 100-mile-an-hour head-on collision while I was a medic in the back of an ambulance. We got hit head-on. So due to my injuries, that ended my chiropractic career. And rather than lay there and pity myself, I went back to school and I became a physician assistant, which I've been doing now for almost 30 years in primary care. So that's what basically got me involved with the natural health products because due to my injuries, I was used to, and still to some extent, I still am used to living my life in some degree of pain 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But thank God for the products. Um, it is at a significantly decreased level from what I was previously used to and without prescription medications. So it's come a long way. Now, concerning the products that we're going to be speaking about, this is more of a proactive wellness as opposed to the old school of reactive wellness. When normally see a patient in the office, they're coming to me because they already have a problem and they want me to help them get rid of the problem. Instead of coming to me and saying, I don't want to get this issue, what can we do to prevent it? Well, these products help prevent illness rather than try to chase the horse down after it's left the barn. So, that being said, I'm going to make a blanket statement that any of the products that you're going to hear about tonight are not meant to specifically treat, cure, or mitigate any specific disease process. You will hear people give testimonies about the products that they're using and how it is affecting their lives and making their lives better. Now, we have thousands of people that utilize our products. So I'm going to say thousands of people can't be wrong when they say they're helping them. So while we can't make a blanket statement across the board, and we're not going to say what you're going to hear from one person is exactly how it's going to affect you, but we can say with pretty good confidence you'll be probably be better off with it than without it. So that being said, I'm going to make one other statement and say that being that these products are not a prescription, are not a pharmaceutical or a drug, unless your physician specifically tells you you have to avoid a certain food product, then the chances are there's no reason why you can't take any of these products because they are all plant-based except for our fish oils, which and our collagen, which is marine-based. That being said, Lori, I'm going to turn it over to you to introduce our first product.
Awesome. Well, I love these products, Doc Brett. I'm so excited to have you on here sharing about them, and I'm excited to introduce the first product. Our first product is called Vitalité, and it comes in this little box with the little drop down, which I love. And in the box are 30 of these little packets, and in the packet is 5 supplements that I take each and every morning, and I take them on an empty stomach. And the reason I take them on an empty stomach is because I can. I can take them on an empty stomach right away in the morning. I don't feel sick. I don't feel like I want to vomit. They don't do anything because they're absorbing, they're working, they're actually doing something good for my body. So again, first thing in the morning with a glass of water, I take them right down. I love them, Doc Brett. They give me a lot of, I feel more energized. They help with my energy level.
That is something that's very true. And the reason why you can take it on an empty stomach as opposed to most of the other vitamin type supplements out there is this supplement has digestive enzymes. So it helps your body break it down. It is a whole food product. So it is easily digested. The whole food product is in what we call a glycoprotein matrix. So it's got an advanced delivery system which helps increase the body's absorption. Now, talking about absorption, we used to say we are what we eat, or we're a product of what we eat. We can't really say that anymore because it's not a matter of what we eat, it's a matter of what our body absorbs. So you can eat all you want, but if your body doesn't absorb it, it's going to have absolutely no benefit. Now, the standard absorption test is about an 8 to 10% absorption, which means if you go to Walmart, CVS, GNC, any of those common places we tend to get our supplements from, they're absorbed to the tune of about 10%.
Hmm.
Now, our Vitalité has been shown to absorb up to 44%. So it's more than 4 times the standard absorption. Now, the Vitalité has essential amino acids and fatty acids that are taken from plants that our body recognizes, so it doesn't try to destroy it. Okay, the body needs building blocks to be able to produce the needed proteins and structural supports of the body. Now, in addition to these essential amino acids and fatty acids, there are 72 trace minerals. Now, the trace minerals are really big factors because they are needed for enzymes, for catalysts, and it's been shown that our soils are depleted by 50 to 75% of the essential minerals that were once in the soil. So you can imagine what you would need to consume in order to get what the body needs. There's also probiotics and prebiotics. There's 100 million live bacteria in the Vitalité. There's 16 amino acids. It's a 10-berry blend. Like I said, there's digestive enzymes, and there's 10 phytonutrients. There are superfoods that are rich in chlorophyll, and chlorophyll is a big detoxifier of the body. And then there's omega fish oils. Oh, there's omega-3, omega-6, omega-7, which is great for the gut health, the gut lining, and the microbiome. And there's omega-9. Now, the omegas promote heart, brain, and eye health, as well as promoting cellular energy. Now, two very big factors here. We've all been inundated and we've all heard of the big craze, most specifically in the diabetes realm, but also in the weight loss realm. And that is the GLP-1s. The GLP-1 is glycogen-like peptide 1. Now, unfortunately, any medication has potential side effects as well as benefits. And when I, as a prescriber, look to give a patient a medication, I have to weigh out risk to benefits. And if the risks outweigh the benefits, I don't prescribe it. Well, the great thing about our products is they're not a medication, they're plant-based, and they're natural, so there's minimal to no side effects from them. Well, the Vitalité has GLP-1 activity in that it increases the body's own GLP-1 by 345%, which is phenomenal for a non-medication and something that you don't have to worry about the side effects of a synthetic medication. There is also an increase in what we call the BDNF, which is the brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which means it helps with cognition and memory. And the BDNF with the Vitalité is increased by 840%. So we get a nice big increase. So, Lori, I'm going to turn it over to our first testimonial.
Sounds great. And that'll be Ray. Welcome, Ray.
Hi, everybody. Ray Kuhn from Nampa, Idaho. And let me tell you something. Ray Kuhn before May 2025 is a completely different Ray Kuhn from right now. I'm 58 years old. My entire life, I've had sinus issues and sinus problems. and waking up in the morning with just phlegm down my throat, choking, coughing, trying to get everything to clear. Um, I've never experienced both sinuses being open at the same time in my entire life. I mean, it's just how life was. And I was a mouth breather for all that time. Well, since May, when I started taking the Vitalité to right now, this is the first September, October, November in my life that I've had both sinuses clear all night long. When I wake up in the morning, whatever's there comes right out. And my choking and gagging in the morning is getting less and less and less every single week. It's the most amazing product I've ever taken in my life. And it has truly changed my life. So thank you.
Okay. Now, for those that are listening, you'd probably say, like, wait a minute, Vitalité and Ray is talking about allergies. Well, first off, like I said, we're not going to make a blanket statement and say that we're treating Ray's allergies, because obviously we're not. What's happening is Ray's symptoms from his allergies are improving. And you have to stop and say, like, how is that possible? Well, I said that the Vitalité affects your gut microbiome. Well, 80% of our immune system is in our gut microbiome. And allergies are an inflammatory process. So the first fighters of the inflammation are going to come from your gut. So that's how we can turn around and say the Vitalité is helping Ray. Lori, let's go on to our next great product.
Okay. I do want to mention, Doc Brett, before I get into our next product, I do want to mention that we're going to hit on our 7, in our supplement line, but we do also have a skincare line that I want to briefly mention. And in that skincare line, we have a super serum. And I love that this serum, when you put it on your face, they found there's a skin brain connection. And this is it's a neuro serum, and what that does is when you put it on, it not only helps your skin look good, but it helps you feel good. It gives you a hit of dopamine to the brain, and that is scientifically proven. We have the studies, but also in this skincare line, there is a cleanser, a toner, and a moisturizer. So I just wanted to mention that quick so people realize that we do have that available. And then I wanted to move on to our collagen product, which I think this is a stick product. First of all, I love that it's a liquid collagen, Doc Brett. I think that is so important. You just shake it up, squeeze it, mix it up, drink it down. It's a liquid collagen. I like to keep mine in the fridge, not necessary. You can keep it on the counter. I love the cycling with this, Doc Brett. I think that's huge. I love how our company isn't just trying to get people to buy things over and over and over. They actually want to do what's best for our body. So I'll turn it over to you and let you explain about that.
Super. Lori, yes, our collagen is a highly absorbable collagen. It is a liquid. It is marine based, as I previously said. And in comparison to the standard 10% absorption, our collagen is absorbed to the tune of 73%. So it's more than 7 times the standard collagen product. And most collagen products out there are bovine products. And bovine is not very well absorbed. Collagen is normally a very large molecule, and as a large molecule, your body can't absorb it. So our collagen is both micronized and hydrolyzed. So it's brought down to very tiny particles that the body can absorb much better. Now, in addition, there is a liposomal delivery system for this. So just to make it real simple, a liposome basically is a fat bubble that encompasses whatever nutrient it is that we're trying to get into the body. Now, being surrounded by a fat bubble, it bypasses the digestive system, so it does not get destroyed. All of the cell membranes are fat soluble membranes, which means when the liposomal bubble attaches to the cell walls, the cells just open up, the liposome opens up, deposits the mineral or the product that we're trying to get into the cell directly into the cell, and then gets incorporated into the cell wall to help repair the cell wall. So there's not one part of the collagen that does not get utilized. Now there's 5 grams of collagen to each packet that you take. Now, there's also hydrolyzed keratin and biotin. So this also affects the hair, skin, nails, and joints. And like Lori said, this product is cycled. So you take it for 10 days on, you take 20 days off, and then go back on for another 10 days. And the reason we can do that is because of the quantity of collagen that is in the product. It's 73% absorption. And we also have pomegranate juice in it. And the pomegranate juice helps stimulate our body's own collagen production. So we supplement the collagen with the 10 days support, build it up to a high level, and then give the body 20 days to produce its own and maintain the collagen level before we bring it back up again. Now, this is not just for hair, skin, nails, and joints. This product also affects the BDNF, that brain-derived neurotrophic factor. And this increases it another 570%.
Wow.
So this is also good for memory and cognition. And it also increases a substance that's called P-para. I'm not going to try to bore you with what the initials actually stand for, but what it does is it increases the energy production of the cell, of the mitochondria. So it increases what we call ATP, which is the powerhouse of the cells. And Lori, I'm going to turn it over to our next testimonial.
I'm just writing and writing away. I love this. I'm like just taking notes. I mean, when you're talking BDNF, I mean, when you said, the 840% increase with this, 571 increase with, I'm just like, who doesn't want their brain to work better? I'm just like, this is nuts. I mean, again, we're not getting younger. We're getting older.
We're not going to knock a competitor, but who needs Prevagen?
There you go. There you go. Right. And you see these commercials on TV and all these side effects. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like I said, Doc Brett, I'm just writing as fast as I can. And this is fascinating to me. So we do have a testimonial. I'm going to turn it over to Kathy. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Kathy Early. I live in Blackfoot, Idaho. Happy to be here and tell you what I love about our collagen. Number one, just knowing that it's absorbing into my cells. Number two, I love the taste. And just knowing that I'm doing something good for my body and my brain, that's powerful. And so thank you, Dr. Brett, for explaining all of that to us. I appreciate you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. And Lori, let's go on to the next product.
Okay, our next product is our Revíve product. You can see these little orange, they kind of look like little footballs, little magic beans. They help with inflammation. Anyone feeling inflammation in their body. And, I've learned, through listening to you, Doc Brett, that inflammation is the number one cause of disease. I mean, when we have inflammation in our bodies aren't running as optimal as they could be. So what if there was something that we could do that would help to take inflammation down? Well, I just absolutely love this product. I love a lot of the ingredients in it, and I love how it helps me to feel.
Okay, Lori. Now, Revive is my main go-to. The Revive has been my savior, if you will. Yes, there's our Lord, our Savior, but this is my savior in these little pills. Like I said, I was involved in a rather serious accident. I was on some very heavy anti-inflammatory non-steroidal medication, which damaged my kidneys. Thank God they've recovered. And pain medication, which gave me a complete personality change. The Revive has allowed me to eliminate all of that out of my regimen. And the Revive is our least absorbed product at 30%. So it's still 3 times higher than standard delivery. Now, the Revive helps lower stress, decreases inflammation within the body, and supports the energy powerhouse, the mitochondria. Okay, this is great for post-exercise recovery. It supports healthy joints, eases muscle stiffness. It helps counteract free radicals. And besides one of the main ingredients being curcumin, which is a very poorly absorbed molecule and very easily destroyed. But thanks to the liposomal technology that is in this product as well, it gets protected and does not get destroyed. There's also boswellia, which is great for anti-inflammatory, pain relief, as well as being neuroprotective. It is also a great antioxidant. It has black cumin seed oil, shiitake mushroom, sea buckthorn, acai fruit extract, piperine, and menthol. Now, these may also improve wound healing, digestion, and get this, lady, menstrual cramps. Now, we're going to go back to the other added benefits. That GLP-1 we spoke about earlier, this increases the GLP, your body's own GLP-1, by another 293%. And that is without the side effects of synthetic GLP-1. And that good old BDNF, definitely throw away your Prevagen. 430% increase. Now, in addition, this decreases the IL-6, which is interleukin 6, which is a very big inflammatory marker. Now, when it comes to inflammation, remember we said we want to get rid of that. So a decrease in the IL-6 is what we want to see. We don't want to see an increase in IL-6. I'm going to go ahead and turn that over to our next testimony.
Okay. One of the things that you shared, Doc Brett, I think was so powerful, besides all the medical numbers and information, but when you talked about, pain medication and kidneys, that has to go through your kidneys. Also, you talked about personality change. I heard that and I was like, that's a really big deal that sometimes I think, are people really like aware of those things can happen and how much that can affect their daily life? And then I was thinking, addiction too. And there's just some things that it's like, if there was something else that I could try that might help me, that's all natural. And if I need to take a few extra, I can because it's natural. I mean, that to me, I'm just like, you know what? I think there's just a lot here. I mean, I love all the numbers you gave, and I'm like so excited about the GLP-1 increasing, the decrease in the IL-6, the BDNF increasing. But then, like I said, I was thinking, what about, helping our saving our kidneys, not putting some of these harsh things through our kidneys? What about not having personality changes? What about, not having addictions form? My brain went in so many places with some of the things you shared. So I just had to throw that in there. But we will get to our testimonial. I'll turn it over to Glenn. Welcome, Glenn.
Hi, how you doing? My name is Glenn Price. I'm from Eagle Mountain, Utah. I too very happy about this product. This product is my favorite product in the range. It is a phenomenal product. It has helped me so much. My life stems from being out skiing. I started at the age of 2. I was in extreme skiing in my youth and all the way through college. I was competitive in alpine ski racing, whether it's slalom, GS, Super G, and downhill. And so throughout my life, I did not comprehend pain because I had such a high tolerance of pain because I always had pain. And so, it's because I was having fun and it was an adrenaline, pain I just couldn't comprehend that. So there's many times I would, dealing with bone spurs, getting bone spurs removed, Achilles tendon surgeries, whether it is dealing with high crashes at speeds up 90 plus miles, in downhill. And, the one that took my number was up there in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Now that I'm in my 50s, I can, I can honestly say that the pain level and the chronic pain that I've had over the years have come to surface. And so I have been, for years, I've been taking ibuprofen, Tylenol, and I'm talking 6 to 8 a day. And as I was introduced to this within this year, when I first started, I was taking 6 to 8. And the best part about it is I could get myself off of the ibuprofen and Tylenol. And now I'm down to 2. And I still have pain. And yes, I still can tell you when the weather's coming. I can tell you when the Utah storms are coming 2 to 3 days before the storm hits, and every part of my body, whether it's my neck, back, knees, ankles, you name it, I can tell you. But when those times hit, I just take a little more. But obviously, I love what you said. Magic beans. That's great. They are truly magic beans. They've been a blessing to in my life. So thank you.
That's great to hear, Glenn. And I'll just throw one other thing in there. And I know, Lori, you have some similar experience with another product with your 4-legged child. I have a father and son Rottweilers. And unfortunately, the son had his mother step on his leg when he was 6 weeks old and fractured it. Well, not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, he suddenly came up lame again and didn't know why. Well, I immediately turned around, he's 105 pounds, so he's an adult weight. I gave him 2 of the Revive. And I did that for 2 days, and then I dropped it to 1, and he's running around like nothing's wrong. So it's not just for humans that it works. Now we'll go on to our next product, Lori.
All right. I love that. I love hearing that. I love that it helped him so much. And the next product, Purify, which is our gentle detox. This is the one that we gave to our little chihuahuas. And they're really little. They weren't human size, but this is a gentle detox. Like I said, it's very, very mild, and it's going to help detox 5 organs of the body: our liver, our lungs, our colon, our kidney, and our biggest organ, which is our skin. And when I said, we gave this to our little chihuahuas, they both have passed in the last little bit here. It's been tough. One was 15 and a half, one was 17 and a half. They both weighed under 5 pounds. And we found out one of ours had kidney disease. So when I said liver, lungs, colon, kidney, and skin, well, I was like, you know what? They gave her very little time to live. And we were like, well, what can we do? I mean, let's try something, because she's not doing well. Her quality of life was not well, and we wanted to see if there was anything we could do. So we, like you, and we gave her the Purify because they said kidney disease, and we're like, well, this helps kidneys. I know she's a dog. This isn't technically for animals, but I mean, let's try it. So we gave it to both of our chihuahuas and thought, I mean, this is going to help. And I am very glad to say that we had 2 different vets that are like, they could not believe the blood results. I mean, she had her blood drawn like 5 different times. The blood results were absolutely crazy how much better her kidney numbers got. And we got 13 extra months with our little chihuahua. She has passed, they've both passed, but we were able to get 13 extra months. And nobody's going to convince me any other thing, not even 2 vets. They will tell you the numbers. I have the blood work. So we did that too, and it was a blessing, not only to us in our home, but also to our dogs, which was a huge blessing. So take it as you will. But anyway, that's what I have to say about that product. So I love it. And it's a very gentle cleanse. I take 2 every evening.
Okay, now the Purify, going back to our absorption, is absorbed to the tune of 88%. So just shy of 9 times standard delivery. Now, like Lori said, this detoxifies the 5 major organ systems of the body, and it is a gentle detox. Now, people say they do a water cleanse or they do a fast. Well, those 2 do not do a whole lot for getting rid of what's already in the body. It may prevent any new toxins, but it doesn't do a whole lot for what's already in the body. Because if you don't take something that is going to dislodge the toxins from the cells of the different organs, you can't get rid of it.
Right.
Our product has the ingredients that break the toxins free from the cells of the 5 organs and allow your body to get rid of them. Now, the capsules themselves, as Lori showed you, are green. And they're green because they're made of chlorophyllin. And chlorophyll, like I said previously, which is also in the Vitalité, is a detoxifier. Now, there is also fulvic acid, which helps remove heavy metals such as mercury and aluminum. And the heavy metals prevent the proteins of the body from working and doing what they're meant to do. There is liposomal milk thistle, and milk thistle is another one of those very difficult to absorb nutrients. And the milk thistle is great for the liver. It has herbs for the kidneys. It has kelp and apple pectin for the colon. And it has coriander leaf and dandelion root, which help increase nutrient absorption and help support a healthy body weight. Now, the fulvic acid also helps increase the mitochondrial function. So that, again, that's the powerhouse. That's the energy source of the body and of the cells. Lori, I'm going to turn it over to our next testimony.
Okay, welcome, Nikki.
Hello. So he was talking about fulvic acid. One of the things I really like about it as well, the way it pairs with the mullein. I have oil-filled lungs, which means they don't like to do a lot of the things I used to do. And it's amazing how these things, he was talking about how it carries the heavy metals and everything out of your body. But it also helps exit a lot of the toxins. I used to be one of those people that did the quarterly detoxes that kept you at the house for at least 3 or 4 days because, yeah, you weren't going really anywhere. So to have a gentle daily detox is amazing, especially where, it does help with the mitochondria. It helps with the lungs. It just, you guys were talking about all the systems. It's just amazing how well it works. And that you don't have to worry about I need to know how many hours after I've taken this so I can, exit whatever I'm doing in life. It's amazing that it's that gentle and it works so well. Again, it's amazing products. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Nikki. Lori, let's go on to our next product.
Okay, our next one is our immune product, and this is going to help boost our immune system. Who doesn't need a little help with their immune system? And I like to I take 2 every single morning, again on an empty stomach because I can start my day with everything. The only one I take in the evening is the Purify off by itself. But I take 2 of these in the morning. And Doc Brett, when we're going to travel, because Greg and I do travel quite a bit, I bump it up. I take a few extra just because I know I'm going to be coming into contact with a lot of extra things on airplanes and hotel rooms, on escalators, things like that. But I absolutely love that I'm able to give my immune system a little bit of help.
That's great. Now, the immune will go straight to the absorption is 44%. So it's again almost 4.5 times the standard supplement. Now, the immune gets absorbed so well because it's both micronized and hydrolyzed. So it's very small particle size. Now, the immune affects the body's 2 types of immunity. We have an innate immunity, which is what we're born with. And then we have an adaptive immunity. And the adaptive immunity comes on later in life as we get exposed to things and our body builds up antibodies. Now, the immune product has elderberry, vitamin D3, and no, vitamin D3 is not just for bone health. It is also for immunity. Vitamin E, calcium, aloe vera, vitamin C, zinc, vitamin A, and selenium. Now, the innate immunity is always on guard, as opposed to the adaptive immunity, which comes into play once we get exposed to something that the body has already come in contact with. Now, there are trace minerals, which are adaptogenic, and these also help support a healthy immune response. Again, enhances the body's gut microbiome. Now, this product is also chock full of liposomal technology and has what we call liposomal quercetin. Now, the liposomal quercetin is a very powerful anti-inflammatory, and it helps support immune function. And like I said previously, this may also help mitigate allergy type symptoms because the symptoms are inflammatory in nature. And it does this by blocking histamines. Now, it's also been shown that it can potentially benefit heart health by lowering the blood pressure and the cholesterol. Now, another very big thing that this immune product does is what we call quorum sensing. What quorum sensing basically means is in order for bacteria and viruses to replicate, they have to be able to communicate with each other. If they lose that communication, they cannot reproduce. And the quorum sensing does just that with the bad bacteria. It shuts down that communication. So it isolates the virus and the bacteria and makes it easier for your body to destroy it. Lori, let's go on to our next testimonial.
Okay, welcome, Paul.
Hi, I'm Paul Lindbergh. I'm from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. And much like Lori, what I have found that has helped me with is a leaky nose. It's that time of the year where seasonal allergies take place, and unfortunately, I'm one of those fall allergy people. So what I do is I take 2 with my Vitalité in the morning, and it kind of levels everything out. And about an hour before I go to bed, I take 2 more, and seem to help with the prevention of the leaky nose. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm clear and ready to go and tackle the day. And that's my testimony.
Thank you very much for that, Paul. Lori, what's our next great product?
Our next great product is our Éternal. This is our super blend antioxidant. This little purple pouch is Power Pack. I'd say it's the Power Pack purple pouch. How fast can we say that? The Power Patch purple pouch. But I love, that it has so much resveratrol in it. I love the glutathione in it. I mean, you hear these buzzwords, but can you get it anywhere? I mean, can you get it where it's actually absorbing? I love that we have a 95% absorption rate. I could go on and on about this product. I mean, pre-workout, post-workout. I mean, we could talk help with menopause, perimenopause, premenopause. I mean, we could go on and on and on of all the categories. I think it helps with every category. I don't think there's a person that shouldn't be putting this in their body. Doc Brett, like I said, I could go on and on about all these products, things they've done. But my goodness, Power Pack purple pouch.
Well, like you said, that Power Pack purple pouch is so because of the 95% absorption. So it is the most highly absorbed product that we have. Another 5%, we'd be at 100% absorption. There's 3 times the absorption of coenzyme Q10, which is a very major cofactor in the processes that take place in our body. Now, people hear about glutathione all the time. There's almost, you can call them glutathione centers opening up all over the place where people are going and getting IV glutathione. Well, yes, IV glutathione will get absorbed better than trying to take an oral because it's very poorly absorbed and easily destroyed. But the problem is that IVs are water-based. They're saline. So it's a salt solution, but it's still water. The problem is glutathione is hydrophobic, which means it doesn't like water. So you're going to get all the glutathione molecules clumping together, which makes it harder to get absorbed. So people pay up to $150 for IV glutathione to get probably a little more than what they would get if they took it orally on a normal supplement type basis, that 10% absorption. Well, with Éternal, you get a 95% absorption, and you don't need an IV. and you don't need an intramuscular injection. Now, the glutathione helps support and protect the cells from damage. It helps prevent premature aging, and again supports the mitochondria, which is the energy stores or powerhouse of the cells. It helps destroy free radicals. It's the primary antioxidant of the body. Now, if we take care of our body and with the Eternal, it helps our bodies start producing its own glutathione as well. It helps deliver phytonutrients to protect against the UV damage. And it also helps, the phytonutrients also help decrease insulin spikes and helps balance blood sugars. This Eternal contains 10 superfoods, superfruits. It has 1.6 grams of marine-based collagen. And like Lori said, it has 200 milligrams of resveratrol. Now, a 5-ounce glass of wine has anywhere from 0.03, so 0.03 of a milligram, to as high as 1.03. So 0.03 above 1, which means to get that 200 milligrams of resveratrol that's in one of those purple power packs, you would need to drink, depending on which wine you would drink, red wine you were drinking, upwards of 200 glasses of wine. I don't know very many people that can do that on a daily basis. Well, you may be able to do it, but how are you going to exist through your day doing it? Now, over to those added benefits. This has a decrease in 2 inflammatory markers, that IL-6 that we spoke about before, a 1,250% decrease in the IL-6. And it also has a decrease in the inflammatory response from what we call NF-κB. Again, that's another one that I'm not going to go into with what the letters actually stand for. And it has an increase in that P-para of 380%. So again, it increases the energy stores of the cells. So Lori, let's go on and hear our testimony for our Eternal.
Okay, welcome, Mei Ling.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Doc Brad. And thank you so much for having me on tonight. I feel very honored to be able to share my story. I've had a history of health challenges in my life, mainly a lot of gut problems and leaky gut, for one, which, as many of you know, that can wreak havoc on the body and cause all kinds of challenges, health conditions, and I've had them. One of the things that has been most impactful for me the last few years was when I was working in the corporate world, full-time, very stressful job, and I developed a severe rash, like skin rash, like all over my body. It was so bad, and I had edema, was very swollen up. My head was swollen up like someone had pumped my head with a air pump or something. It was just, I was a wreck. A few years back, I had to actually stop working for quite some time and was having a real difficult time functioning. And I will say, fast forward, since I've been on these products, in particular, the Éternal, I love all the products. I'm taking them all, but I will say the Éternal is one of my very favorite products. And for me personally, I'm one of those people who I have had a real hard time absorbing my nutrients. and probably due to the leaky gut. So I need extra glutathione. I need extra resveratrol, CoQ10, and all the superfruits and antioxidants that are in there. My body needs that to help me to function. And it's been just a lifesaver for me. I'm thrilled. I have to say this has been, I just turned 67 recently, and this has been, I think, in my experience, the best antioxidant and anti-aging product that I've experienced. So I just love it, and I would not want to be without it. I love putting it in my smoothies, by the way, and it tastes so good just on its own. It's wonderful, just sipping it out of the pouch. But if I'm not having a smoothie, I sip it out of the pouch. Otherwise, I put it in my smoothie because it makes it taste so good. So I'm really thrilled with the product, and I would not want to be without it. I take it every day. So thank you for letting me share.
Thank you very much, Mei-Ling. Okay, Lori, let's go on to our final product.
All right, our final product of the evening is our Kynetik product, and this is a clean, healthy energy. So clean energy, people are like, well, what is clean about it? Well, it has no taurine, no sugar, no sucralose, and no aspartame. In this box, there are 30 sticks like this, and there's powder inside. You rip it open and you can pour it into your glass of water, mix that up, or you can put it into your water bottle and shake it up and drink it down. And I love that we have a clean energy that's not going to be harming people's bodies.
Thank you very much, Lori. Yes, our Kynetik is clean energy. It has 200 milligrams of caffeine, which comes from green tea leaves, and it is a slow release. So there's no fluoride, which is seen with synthetic caffeine. You do not get the crash that you get from normal caffeinated products, and it has an increased bioavailability. There's essential B vitamin complex, which has B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B7, which is biotin, B9, and B12. Now, the B12 in the Kynetik is a methylated form of B12, which is the highly absorbable form. It is not what you get in most B12 products. It's not what you get from your doctor. Most doctors give what we call cyanocobalamin, which is B12, but it is not in its most absorbable and best form. This product supports brain function, energy metabolism, and vitality. It has an electrolyte blend, so it has sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium, which are the 4 essential electrolytes. It helps your body absorb fluids more effectively, maintain cellular communication, and helps your body stay energized. Now, there's grape polyphenols and rosavins from rhodiola for brain support and a positive mood. There's yerba santa extract, which resists adrenal fatigue. And like Lori said, unlike most other energy drinks, there is no taurine, which used to be one of the big selling points of the energy drinks. But now they've recently found that it's been linked to leukemia. So we don't want the taurine. There's no sugar, no aspartame, and no sucralose. No artificial flavors or colors. So I start my workday every day. I'm up between 5:30 and 6 o'clock, and I'm on the road by 7. And I don't miss a day with my Kynetik. So let's go on to our next and last testimony.
I love this. I was going to say you had me at brain support. And then when I was hearing, the positive mood, and I was thinking of some people, and I'm like, could I just sprinkle this on them? That's where my
Pixie
brain went.
dust.
But then when you said, now I'm going to probably pronounce it wrong, but I wrote down cyanocobalamin, and I'm writing this down, and I'm thinking, thank goodness nobody is going to look at this and do a spelling test on me, because I'm
Well,
writing these words, but man, I guarantee I'm butchering.
when you hear cyano, there's a word most people think of, and they're right. Cyanide.
Oh,
There
interesting.
is a very minute percentage of cyanide.
Wow. The things you learn, right? And the things they've been feeding us. Anyway, we'll move on with our testimonial. And I'm going to welcome Brandy.
Hi, everybody. So I love the Kynetik. I think the biggest thing that I've noticed when I've taken Kynetik is, like Doc Brett said, just helping with my brain. I definitely feel the clarity. And I feel so much more productive. I'm not getting that afternoon crash, which is awesome because I have, I want to keep going. I still have hours in the day. But I've recently cut back, quit drinking coffee for a little bit to sort of get some gut healing going on for myself, and just recently started back. And specifically today, I felt the jitters, and I didn't have that much. I had maybe 2 cups of small cups of coffee, and I felt frazzled. I didn't have the clarity. I didn't have the, where I felt productive. I kind of felt like scattered, like what direction am I going? And definitely hit the crash later on in the afternoon. So probably going to still keep that coffee on the sideline and stick with my Kynetik. Thanks for letting me share.
Yes, I'm muted.
I love that, Brandy. I agree. The Kynetik is absolutely incredible. It's sad that, you did notice that though, and you were like, oh my goodness, how many other people are getting the jitters and getting these things from the coffee and the crashes? And again, what if we could just do better? What if you can have that energy like Brandy gets from this, but not feel the jitters and have, the positive mood and the more focused? And people are saying, is that possible? You guys give it a try. I mean, 100%. It's fantastic. I mean, all of these products, here's the thing. We're not gatekeeping. We're sharing these products with you. You're hearing Doc Brett, share the science behind them. All of our products are in what's called the PDR, the Physician's Digital Reference. You can go to pdr.net and find all of our products. Just put 3THREE up in the search bar. You'll see all of our products come up, and it's like, well, how did we get in the PDR? This is the doctor's Bible. We got in there because these products are not on trial. We have the science backing them. We have third-party clinical studies, not in-house studies. In a lot of these places, they have in-house studies. No, we have third-party clinical studies. We're in the PDR. If you're like, Lori, how are your supplements any different than anyone else? Right there, you guys. Huge, huge, huge. Our ingredients, I mean, we could go on and on and on. But again, I don't even need to do that because we have the science. We have the studies. We're in the PDR. You're not going to find that. These are the best products. I know it. I know it beyond a shadow of a doubt. You've heard testimonial after testimonial from all across the country. If you want to get your hands on these products, let the person who invited you on this Zoom, let them know. I want to try these. There's 2 ways we can do it. You can purchase them at retail or you can purchase them at wholesale. Why purchase at wholesale when you can purchase at retail, right? How do you do that? It's $30 one time a year. $30 and you can get all the products at wholesale. It's just like a Costco membership. Anyone have a Costco membership? Same thing. You're going to pay $30 once a year. It opens up the wholesale pricing. Who wouldn't want to get them at wholesale? And as you're hearing these testimonials, you're probably like, oh my goodness, you know what? So-and-so needs to hear about this. My neighbor, my friend, my sister, my brother, whoever it may be, somebody I work with, they need to hear about this. Tell them about it, you guys. No gatekeeping. Like, let's help as many people as we can to feel better, to live better, to age gracefully, and have a better quality of life. Now, if you're thinking, well, goodness, is there a way to actually make a little bit of money if I share things, if I share these healthy living products? Can I not only help people, but could maybe I have a plan B? Could I have some side income? Could I earn my products for free? Could I make enough money to pay for these products? Yes, yes, and yes, and yes. How's that? Yes, that is possible. And you know what? Tomorrow night, there's going to be a gentleman sharing for 30 minutes how you can do exactly that. What is the business side to this? He's going to share for 30 minutes tomorrow evening. Not only has he been able to get his products paid for, not only has he been able to create a plan B, but he's been able to make millions of dollars building this as a business. So if that's something you're interested in, also let the person know who invited you on the Zoom. I would like the link for the 30-minute Zoom tomorrow evening. Please let me jump on that and hear a little bit more information. And he's going to explain from A to Z how that works. It may or may not be for you, but I would just sit back, relax, take a listen. So I just want to thank Doc Brett for jumping on here, for sharing all of his knowledge. Oh my goodness. Again, so much fantastic information. I mean, I feel like we could just zoom in on just the BDNF itself. Oh my goodness. But there was so many other nuggets within there. And it's like, who doesn't want to get these products in their body? Who doesn't want to have a little bit of help, feel a little bit better? I know I do. So I can't thank you enough, Doc Brett, for sharing all of your wisdom, explaining why these products work the way they do, how our bodies work, and just learning a little bit more, because the more we learn, the better we can do, right? And I want to thank each and every testimonial. I want to thank Ray, Kathy, Glenn, Nikki, Paul, Mei Ling, and Brandy. Thank you all for opening up, sharing your personal testimonial. It means a lot. And again, this Zoom is recorded, so if you missed some notes, you can catch the recording. So I just want to thank each and every one of you for jumping on tonight, and I want to wish you all a lot of good health and a lot of happiness. Have a great evening.
Take care, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.